Hello. Hello, viewer. Welcome to a Sober James Addiction Recovery live stream where we talk about addiction, recovery, and everything in between. Tonight, we're going to talk about the different types of sex addicts, sexual, the different types of love addicts, love, and the different types of sex and love addicts. For those of you who don't know, this is the Sober James channel where we gather here during live stream podcasts such as this one and talk about the various nuances and facades and conduits of addiction, recovery, and everything in between. I myself am a recovering alcoholic and addict of all things. Now, I'm going to tell you personal stories on here like I always do. But first, for you, the viewer, I'm going to consult our new Lord and Savior, AI, artificial intelligence, to see what it has to say about the different types of love and sex addicts. In recovery communities such as Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, SLAA, people often notice different patterns of love and sex addiction. These aren't always official medical diagnoses. They're behavior patterns that help people understand how their addictions show up. Here are some of the most commonly discussed types. Number 1, the love addict. The love addict becomes addicted to the feeling of being in love or the emotional intensity of a relationship. Common traits include quickly becoming attached, idealizing partners, fear of abandonment, staying in unhealthy relationships, feeling empty when single. They often chase the romantic high rather than real intimacy. Can you believe it? Let's see who's with us. We got Grateful 7 Discipline. I relate to this at the moment. So do I, Grateful. I'm grateful you're here, and I'm grateful I am too. It's only antibiotics and lack of money that are keeping me sober at the moment. Honestly, I feel great. I don't want to slip, or do I? Slip. Beneath every skirt, there's a slip. Dr. Bob, one of the co-founders of Alcoholics Anonymous, said that. Beneath every skirt, there is a slip, meaning be careful with relationships if you're a recovering alcoholic or a recovering addict. What do you call two alcoholics in a U-Haul? A second date. We like to have fun here. It's good to see you all, and it's good to be seen. Let's read about another type of, number 2, the sex addict. The sex addict is driven by compulsive sexual behavior rather than emotional connection. Common traits: compulsive hookups, pornography addiction, multiple partners, risky sexual behavior, using sex to escape stress or emotions. The focus is usually physical release or stimulation rather than connection. Let me see here. First of all, let me try to relate to the love addict. Quickly becoming attached? Check. Idealizing partners? Check. Fear of abandonment? Check. Staying in unhealthy relationships? Check. Feeling empty when single? I feel great when single. I am actually full of life. I've recently been single for only a couple of weeks, and I'm back to myself, as you can see with the live streaming and everything else. Now, can I relate to the sex addict? Driven by compulsive sexual behavior rather than emotional connection. Compulsive hookups. I wouldn't say compulsive. Pornography addiction. Man, I don't watch porn anymore, but there's been times in my life where I jerked the old gherkin as a means of maintenance to pornography. but I think it's toxic and I don't partake in it. Multiple partners, I mean, no, not this guy. Risky sexual behavior, yes. Condoms suck. Using sex to escape stress or emotions, sure. I can relate to that, but I'm more in relation to the love addict. Now we're going to talk about the different types of love addicts and all that, but first let me say what up to y'all. Grateful, thank you for coming. That's what she said. Mike Tucker, man, we are back. It's all good in the hood. Yes, we're back, brother. I got a new shirt and everything. I got some business attire, business casual attire for my new position as a alumni coordinator for a recovery facility. And man, am I stoked. It's a beautiful day here in the great state of Montana, and my windows are open. Grateful disciple. I didn't choose it. It was random. Said it wrong. Well, cool name anyway. Trippy, what up? What up, Trippy? A bowler from the 70s called. They want their shirt back, James. Oh, man, you know what I mean? Come on. Come on, you can't. You know you can't front on this. You know you can't front on this. You know what I mean? I'm ready for business. You know what I mean? I'm ready to work with addicts and alcoholics. I like it. And isn't that what matters? I'm addicted to liquid death, sparkling water. If you ask Google, hey, Google, is liquid death good for you? Yes, liquid death is good for you, especially the unflavored versions. 0 calories, sourced from the Alps, packaged in 100% recyclable aluminum cans. I hear it's got electrolytes too. Well, here's the thing, man. Last night's stream, I was elated because I reunited with my lady, elated with a lady. But got a little too jumping of the gun. Now, we addicts are notorious for this. That's why that joke about the U-Haul is so hilarious. What do you call two alcoholics in a U-Haul? A second date. Fools and drunks rush in. You know what I mean? They should have made that movie. Maybe I shall make that movie. But no, I'm not exactly single. I'm not exactly still figuring it out. Because, listen, recovery is about growth. When we're not intoxicated, we are growing. When we're not participating in our addictions, we are growing. So, I have learned slowly, albeit, that maybe I should throttle back. Maybe I should take a couple notches off of the old totem pole. Maybe I should take the intensity down a notch and not jump right into, you know what I mean? Is this love? I'm bad at love. Are you guys bad at love? What about the sex addict, hopeless romantic? Grateful Disciple says. We're getting into that. Let me read more of what our new Lord and Savior AI says. Canned water is so cool and tastes better, but it's got to be still for me. It's got to be still for you. All right, so more on types of sex and love addicts. Number 3 on the list of types of sex and love addicts, the fantasy addict. Fantasy addicts are addicted to imaginary relationships or idealized partners. Common traits: obsessing over someone who is unavailable, daydreaming about romantic scenarios, emotional attachment without a real relationship. Limerence, or obsessive crushes. Hey Google, what is limerence? Being madly in love or infatuated when the feelings are not reciprocated. Obsessive crushes. This is the fantasy addict. This is a, fantasizing about, a partner. It's like a crush gone steroids. The fantasy always often feels safer than real intimacy. Let me know in the chat box if you guys can relate. I'm gonna try a little old trick and see if we can get some music in here. I'm addicted to. Might as well face it, I'm addicted to love. Might as well face it, I'm addicted to love. Okay, yeah, all right, here we go. We got some music. Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. There it is, the music. Just a little something for our ear holes. Still water, the stuff without bubbles. See, I like stuff with bubbles. I'm addicted to it, to be honest. And you know how your boy Sober James is honest. So how's that music coming in? Grabowski Lane celebrates 2 years sober back in December. I'm 2 years sober back in November 30th, so almost about December 2. But you know, it's not about the time. Some people have, including myself at times, too many years and not enough days. You know what I mean? I love my bubbles. Hold the line, love isn't always on time. You got that one. Irish limerence. Okay, let's read about the next type of love and sex addicts. Number 4, the avoidant love addict. This pattern combines love addiction with fear of intimacy. Common traits include pursuing unavailable partners, losing interest when someone becomes available, creating emotional distance, preferring long distance or impossible relationships. The avoidant love addict. They want connection but subconsciously avoid real closeness. How about that? That is interesting. Does anybody here know someone that is an avoidant love addict? Well, that one I cannot relate to. Pursuing unavailable partners, losing interest when someone becomes available, creating emotional distance. Nah. So far, this guy relates to the love addict. The love addict becomes addicted to the feeling of being in love or the emotional intensity of a relationship, quickly becoming attached, idealizing partners, fear of abandonment, staying in unhealthy relationships, feeling empty when single. Except for that, I don't really feel empty when single. I do all right. Often chasing the romantic high. Sounds like a narcissist, Graceful Disciple says. Amazing fact, Limerick is a place in Ireland as well. All right, let's talk about the romance addict. Now this one I'm going to tell you just by the title, I'm going to relate to. The romance addict is hooked on the thrill and the drama of romance. Common traits include chasing the spark. Bored once the honeymoon phase ends. Good God. Constantly seeking new excitement. Dramatic emotional highs and lows. They're addicted to the intensity, not the stability. Now, I can relate to this, and I'm sure some of you guys can too. Everybody loves a good romance. Number 6, the validation addict. This person uses relationships for sex or sex for self-worth and reassurance. Common traits: needing constant attention, feeling valuable only when desired, flirting compulsively, jealousy and insecurity. The addiction is really to feeling wanted. Let's see, not needing constant attention, feeling valuable only when desired, flirting compulsively, jealousy and insecurity. I don't flirt compulsively, but I definitely feel valuable when desired. I don't know who wouldn't. Needing constant attention. True, I have a YouTube channel. But I actually shy away from a lot of attention, but a lot of this rings true. The addiction is really to feeling wanted. Can any of you guys relate to that? Mike Tucker says, I'm past the needing women. I'm almost too comfortable being alone, so it's peaceful. I feel the same way when I'm single, independent. Grateful disciple just likes the feeling of sex. Yeah, I mean, I think that would just be classified as human. A common pattern. Many people in SLAA, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, notice a cycle. Fantasy or obsession, pursuit, romantic high, intensity and attachment, fear, jealousy or control, collapse or withdrawal, repeat with someone new. Man, oh man. Some of these things I can relate to. But sometimes I wonder if you read anything on the internet, or if you read any diagnoses of any human condition, I wonder if you can relate to different parts of that. Most parts. Important, AI says. Most people aren't just one type. Many people are a mix of 2 or 3 patterns. For example, love addict plus validation addict, sex addict plus avoidant, fantasy addict plus love addict. Interesting. Interesting. It's not too late, James. You could still be a father, Michael says. Well, I gotta be a man myself. I think I'm a man. I am secure in myself and realize what I need to be secure in myself. Can you guys relate to that? Disciple says, oh, so there was a personality type made up of letters and so maybe times maybe 8 or more types. James needs a baby. James does not need a baby. James needs a job and got one. So let's go over those types of, in summary, the types of love and sex addicts and not, the love addict, quickly becoming attached, fear of abandonment, feeling empty when single. The sex addict, compulsive hookups, pornography addiction, multiple partners, risky sexual behavior, using sex to escape stress or emotions. The fantasy addict, obsessing over someone who is unavailable, daydreaming about romantic scenarios, emotional attachment with no real relationship. The avoidant love addict, pursuing unavailable partners, creating emotional distance, preferring long distance or impossible relationships. The romance addict, chasing the spark, bored once the honeymoon phase ends, constantly seeking new excitement. The validation addict, needing constant attention, feeling valuable only when desired, flirting compulsively, jealousy and insecurity. Now, sex addiction, love addiction. Now, what's the difference? Let's ask the old Chat GPT what the difference between sex addiction is. What's the difference between love and love addiction? What's the difference? The difference between love and love addiction is mainly about freedom versus dependence. Healthy love allows two people to connect while still being individuals. Love addiction makes a person feel like they need the relationship to survive emotionally. Here's the main differences. Emotional stability. Healthy love. Feelings are steady and grow over time. You can handle disagreements without panic. Your mood doesn't completely depend on the other person. Love addiction. Intense highs and lows. Extreme anxiety when there's distance. Mood depends heavily on the other person's attention. Sounds a lot like codependence. Independence. Healthy love. You maintain your own identity, friends, and interests. Absolutely 100% my goal in this potential relationship that I am experiencing. Being together is a choice. Love addiction, your identity becomes tied to the relationship. Being without the person feels unbearable. The pace of the relationship. Healthy love develops gradually. Trust builds over time. Love addiction moves extremely fast. Immediate obsession or attachment. So, what do you call two alcoholics in a U-Haul? A second date, moving extremely fast. Boundaries. Healthy love, both people respect boundaries. You can say no and still feel secure. Love addiction. Fear of losing the person leads to people-pleasing, control, or jealousy. Damn. How you feel when it ends? Healthy love. Breakups hurt, but you eventually recover. Love addiction. Feels like withdrawal from a drug. Obsession. Stalking social media. Inability to move on. This is why groups like Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous compare love addiction to other addictions. The brain becomes dependent on the emotional high of the relationship. A simple way to think about it: healthy love says, I want you in my life. Love addiction says, I can't function without you. What happens if you can't function with them? Know what I mean? Disciple. We gonna cover jealousy? Let's cover jealousy. It is all the same reward pathway. I agree on that. Let's talk about jealousy. Let's see what our Lord and Savior AI says about jealousy. The root of jealousy. Tomorrow's live stream is Being in a relationship is like miracle grow for your character defects, like jealousy. That'll be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The root of jealousy is usually fear of loss. Not just losing a person, but losing what they represent. Love, attention, security, validation, identity. Jealousy is basically your mind saying, something important to me might be taken away. That surface fear usually grows from deeper emotional roots. Fear of abandonment. This is the most common root. You may believe, they'll leave me. Someone better will replace me. I'm not enough. Even small things, late texts, attention to others, can trigger that fear. Been there. Number 2, insecurity, low self-worth. If you feel not good enough, jealousy becomes stronger. Your brain constantly compares looks, status, personality, sexual attractiveness. The thought pattern becomes, why would they stay with me when they could have someone better? One of the ways I've combat jealousy in relationships in my life is become the sexiest motherfucker in the room. No, I'm just kidding. But not really. Number 3, past betrayal. If you've experienced cheating, emotional abandonment, inconsistent love, your brain learns to scan for danger. Jealousy becomes a protective alarm system even when nothing is actually wrong. Number 4, lack of control. Relationships involve uncertainty. Jealousy often appears when someone feels powerless, unable to control outcomes, dependent on another person for emotional stability. The mind tries to regain control through monitoring or suspicion. Been there. The number 5 root for jealousy is attachment wounds. People with anxious attachment often feel jealousy more intensely. Their nervous system reads distance as threat rather than normal space. The internal message becomes, if I don't watch closely, I'll get hurt. So check this out. I suffer from generalized anxiety disorder and PTSD from various traumatic life events. Right now I'm on Remron. It's an anti-anxiety medication that you take before bed. It makes you sleepy and hungry. And then when metabolized after about 30 days, works to make you less anxious throughout the day. Now I'm on my 3rd week of it, and I have been feeling less fearful, less anxious, less jealous, less paranoid. You know what I mean? Some of these things can be treated medicinally. It's a good thing I got an internal medicine doctor for a girlfriend. A key insight. Jealousy is rarely about the other person. It's more about fear, self-worth, trust, emotional safety. The other person just activates the wound. In recovery spaces like Alcoholics Anonymous or Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, jealousy is often linked to fear, insecurity, control, dependency, character defects, rooted in fear. That's why they call alcohol liquid courage, because the alcoholic is full of 100 forms of fear. Here's a helpful reframe. Instead of asking, why are they making me jealous, ask, what fear in me is being triggered right now? That question usually reveals the real root. Let's see what y'all are talking about. Yes, Mike Tucker, we are old. Dude, how are we not picking up viewers? I mean, there's millions of addicts and you speak well. I know. I don't, it's either the search engine optimization that I'm doing or not doing. The time of day. I've also been inactive on this channel for 7 months. So that might be a reason that we're not picking up more viewers. Mike Tucker said, had a panic attack a couple months ago. Thought I was dying. Heart rate went to 150. Glad you made it, brother. Don't panic. Post on addict forums. I could do that. I could do a lot of things. I got a lot going on in my life right now. This podcast is one of them. Another is a job in addiction recovery field that I'm particularly stoked about. Let's see. I'm feeling confident these days. I am mere hours away from starting what might be the job I was always meant for. Oh, well, thank you for saying that, disciple. I also am learning a lot about attachment styles, and we can look that one up. Speaking of relationships and love addiction and all that, let's look that one up. Actually, I already did. It's right up here at the top. I asked, how do I get over my attachment style in relationships to stop being paranoid and jealous? Because I happen to be dating a dime piece, and my fears, especially when I was temporarily unemployed, made me crazy. So AI said, first, I want to say the fact that you're aware of your attachment patterns already puts you ahead of most people. Paranoia and jealousy in relationships usually aren't about being crazy, they're about feeling unsafe. Most often this comes from anxious attachment style, though some avoidant types experience jealousy too. The good news? Attachment patterns are learned, and anything learned can be reshaped. Here's how to start shifting it. Understand what's actually happening. If you lean anxious, you may fear abandonment. You overanalyze changes in tone or behavior. You assume distance equals rejection. Jealousy feels urgent and overwhelming. That reaction is your nervous system trying to protect you, not a reflection of reality. Now, anxiety disorders make you nervous. They're directly related to the CNS and the nervous system. So, treating your anxiety with medications helps. I can tell you from experience. Start separating. Trigger. They didn't text back for 2 hours. Story. They're losing interest. Reality. Unknown. Write these down when you're spiraling. It helps interrupt the automatic narrative. Learn to self-soothe before reacting. Jealousy spikes are psychological. When triggered, wait 20 to 30 minutes before texting or confronting. Breathe slowly. Inhale 4, exhale 6. Move your body, like walking, stretching, cold water on wrists. Remind yourself, I am safe and this feeling will pass. You're training your nervous system that you don't need external reassurance every time. Build internal security, not just relationship security. The goal is to stop making your partner your only emotional regulator. Strengthen friendships, hobbies, personal goals, self-trust. Ask yourself, if this relationship ended, would I still be okay? The more the answer becomes yes, the less jealousy controls you. That was in direct relation to me not having a job for a period. I was like, I don't have a life without, her. But this is all an illusion. Challenge jealous thoughts like a lawyer. When your brain says they must like someone else, ask, what concrete evidence do I have? Am I mind reading? What is a neutral explanation? Jealousy thrives on certainty without proof. Communicate without accusing. Instead of why were you liking her posts, try, I noticed I get insecure sometimes. Can you reassure me about where we stand? Secure communication builds secure attachment. Heal the root. This is the real work. Attachment forms in early relationships. And if you've experienced inconsistent affection, emotional unavailability, betrayal, or abandonment, your brain learned love equals instability. Therapy, especially attachment-based or EMDR, can dramatically reduce jealousy because it rewires the emotional memory, not just the thoughts. And finally, accept that some jealousy is normal. Zero jealousy isn't the goal. Healthy jealousy is occasional, doesn't control behavior, and doesn't lead to accusations or monitoring. The goal is regulation, not elimination. A hard truth, but an empowering one. Jealousy often decreases when you choose emotionally consistent partners. Stop chasing avoidant or hot-cold dynamics. Trust your intuition instead of over-correcting it. Sometimes it's not just your attachment, it's who you're attaching to. That all in relation to sex addiction and love addiction. I imagine each one of us can relate to many of those characteristics and traits of the love addicts, the sex addicts. I know I could. All things must pass, George Harrison once said. This too shall pass. I've been in so few relationships in my life, Socrates Trading says. I feel more normal single than when I'm with someone. I get that. I do get that. It's said that being in a relationship is like pouring miracle grow on your character defects. I heard from a therapist, I've been doing the old therapy thing, that being in a relationship triggers childhood emotions and experiences. We wanted our mother to love us more. We want our girlfriend to love us more. Is a simple way of looking at that. Hopeless addict, grateful disciple. Hopeless addict is a accurate description. No harm done. Sometimes for knowledge of bad takes bad. Me, fate may not be good. BS Realm, what up? Hot boy Ryan. Socrates says, I would actually be too hands-off in a relationship, which may strike a gal as apathy. That might be a secure attachment style. It might also be avoidant. Grateful Disciple says, you know how sick it is to think someone is more sick than you. That's really sick. I usually think I'm sicker than most. On a skateboard. Sick. On the bass guitar. I get sick with it. The bottom line is we all want to feel safe, we all want to feel secure, and we all want to feel comfortable. And we all want to feel that sweet, sweet release of orgasm. Are we addicted to it? Ask yourself. Do I want to be in this relationship? Or do I need it for my identity? How would I survive if this relationship ended? I know, it looks like a can of beer. Liquid death. I know. I feel awkward bringing it into AA meetings. But I actually like how I used to not know how I felt about it looking like a can of beer. But I actually kind of like it now. Monkey minds, disciple. That reminds me of a saying. Women are like monkeys. They won't let go of one branch until they have a firm hold on another. A big, sturdy, veiny branch. Like my own. I think alcoholism has been warranted from your higher power. It may have to be hot boy. Hot boy Ryan. One of these days, hot boy, I'll verify my driver's license and get the phone line back up. Hot boy, do you think you're a sex or love addict? Is there anything you can relate to in the descriptions of, say, the avoidant love addict or the narcissistic love addict? Does masturbation count as a sex addict? Hot boy Ryan inquires. Excessive and compulsive masturbation, yes, is a symptom of sex addiction. Pornography, excessive pornography, you know what I mean? Dude, you're really exciting me to go to my first meeting. Grateful disciple. Hey, SLAA meeting. I heard they'd be doing it in the bushes outside. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was on a movie. But let's look up one near me. This is how I search for things in case you're wondering how to find something. SLAA meetings near me. SLAA meeting finder. Select your country. United States, select your state, Montana. No. Ah, well, you know. Let me see if there's one near me. Am I a sex addict? Take the test. Well, looks like I got a couple I could go to. You guys want to take the test? Let us take the test. All right. Here's the sex and love addiction test. Are we a sex addict? Sponsors are good for the fuck it moments. 300 days without alcohol. Right on, Pat. Do it. Doing that damn thing. Good for you. Way more selective with who I sleep and give my energy to as a result. You're growing. Without being intoxicated, we grow and learn. ChatGPT is my therapist and sponsor. All right, here's the first question of am I a sex and love addict? Do you keep secrets about your sexual behavior or romantic fantasies from those important to you? Do you lead a double life? Have your desires driven you to have sex in places or with people you would not normally choose? Do you need greater variety, increased frequency, or more extreme sexual activities to achieve the same level of excitement or relief? Does your use of pornography occupy large amounts of time and or jeopardize your significant relationships or employment? Do your relationships become distorted with sexual preoccupation? Does each new relationship have the same destructive pattern which prompted you to leave the last one? Do you frequently want to get away from a partner after having sex? Do you feel remorse, shame, or guilt after a sexual encounter? Have your sexual practices caused you legal problems? Could your sexual practices cause you legal problems? Does your pursuit of sex or sexual fantasy conflict with your moral standards or interfere with your personal spiritual journey? Do your sexual activities involve coercion, violence, or the threat of a disease? Has your sexual behavior or pursuit of sexual relationships ever left you feeling hopeless, alienated from others, or suicidal? Does your preoccupation with sexual fantasies cause problems in any area of your life, even when you do not act out on your fantasies? Do you compulsively avoid sexual activity due to fear of sex or intimacy? Does your sexual avoidance consume you mentally? Yeah, getting a few more points there now, disciple, huh? I don't think I'm a sex addict. I think I am more of a love addict. I'm a hopeless romantic, if you will. Hey, howdy doodly, teddy bear. Good to see you. Long time. ChatGPT is very, very good. I will give it that. I've yet to create an account. I fear commitment with accounts. You know what I mean? Well, in summary and wrap up, fit for task. It's evening where you are. Good to see you. Coming up on 2 years for Teddy Bear on the 17th. Good for you. We're all about 2 years. There's 3 of us in here with 2 years of sobriety. That's 2 years of growing. Almost 800 days. Well, 700 days of growing. Well, sex and love addiction it differs from love and sex in that love addiction produces negative consequences in relationships, employment, finances. Sex addiction is the same. The definition of any addiction is continuing compulsive behaviors despite negative consequences. So if you experience negative consequences by your, jerking off behind the dumpster at McDonald's, you may be a sex addict. If you have sexual or love romantic fantasies about Ronald McDonald and spend copious amounts of time picturing you and he frolicking on a beach, holding hands and gazing lovingly into each other's eyes, you might be the romantic type of love addict. We learn so much when we share with each other. What if you use sex with your love partner to justify your love? Man, it's so nuanced. You know what I mean? Well, sex does, that's why they call it making love, brother. Hey, thanks for the shout out, Teddy Bear. How's the dogs and your dad? Still messing with lines. Yeah, well, you know, he grows too. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Good sex has kept me in terrible relationships. I've heard that a couple times. I've heard that. Well, let me let you go. This addict has some stuff to do. Keep yourselves busy out there and don't forget yourselves if you are currently in a romantic, sexual, or loving relationship. Don't forget, you are an individual. If it weren't for you, she or he wouldn't be with you in the first place. So don't lose yourself to this person. I've done it before. It sucks. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it's slick. It happens. $90 and $90? Right on. Well, I'll see you tomorrow for the topic of the live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Is going to be being in a relationship is like miracle grow for your character defects. I'll see you then, and until then, keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the damn thing. Peace.